Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to On the Couch with David and Travis.
And this was episode 15. I gotta look at my phone. I didn't have enough time to write it down. Those women longed for the touch of others' lips and thus invited their kisses. Bit of a mouthful.
Is that like a reference to something?
It might be, or it might.
I feel like that'd be like a reference to a poem or something. Because, like, besides that, I have no idea where this title
I'm
came
at a point
from.
in my life where I don't feel intimidated by not understanding a reference, so I'm just gonna assume maybe it's something, maybe it's not. I used to be like, I gotta know, but I think this is for me. Episode 15 is what I always tell people. This is the third act. This is where things get rolling, and it took a while, but there's a lot going on here.
Okay.
What do you think?
I liked it. I knew there was more going on. Well, obviously they've told us that Kaji was a spy, but I was kind of guessing it was for the Japanese government. That's what I was thinking. At least, like, because I was thinking, like, oh, who could he be a spy for, possibly? Mm-hmm. Because lots of stuff's happening.
It's confusing because they don't really make it clear that there is a Japanese government. They
Yeah.
have Nerve and Sele, but we never really see a Japanese government.
So I was like, well, that's the only other thing that's not been around. Maybe it's for Sele. I don't know what was happening. So I knew he was a spy, obviously, and then Adam shows up at the end, which I think is cool. And
it's a very disturbing design, I think. Obviously, they got the whole Jesus thing going on with his arms on the cross, but just the way it's like bubbling flesh with like a mask, and it's the most humanoid of all the ones angels we've seen. It has like human arms and a human head, and
its torso and legs are torn off.
Yeah, it's disturbing, and that's like the two big things we have is we have Adam at the end, which is sort of shown to Masato. It's like, okay, what's going on here? And then we also they show Gendo with a naked Ray and some sort of tube type thing. We don't really know what's going on there.
Well, from the hints I've been receiving, I'm understanding that Ray might possibly be like Shinji's mother in another body.
Yeah, they were really dropping. What was I wrote this down. They have
like when she was wringing out the towel, and he's like,
it reminded
me of a mother.
It's a really awkward. I can't help but feel like they could have picked better imagery for that.
Yeah.
Because what does wringing a towel...
Maybe it means something more significant in Japanese culture.
Yeah, potentially that might be it.
Like, because when we think of domesticity, we think of, like, doing chores, like sweeping and that kind of stuff.
I guess.
Possibly. Well, I'm thinking in terms of, like, like the 1960s, kind of, when the housewife became a popular thing then.
But there's no doubt that conversation is very stilted.
Yeah.
And very
strange.
Awkward. Not just like
and not purposely so.
Yeah, not just intentionally. It's just like it's weird to watch. I don't know if it's like maybe worked better in the original translation, but just him being like, "You look like a mother." And she's like, and he's like, "You make a great mommy." And she's like, It's just like it's strange.
You make a great mom. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I don't like how he uses mother and then uses mom. I don't know why that's something that bothers me, but I feel like you would keep the same two in the conversation.
Well, I thought it was cool. Their word choice when they were at the gravesite, and that rather than saying like, when him and Gendo were there, he didn't say mom, he said my mom, which like makes Gendo feel more distant, which I think was a good word choice.
I actually really like that scene because I think there's like a lot of small it's a very short scene. I think there's a lot of small things going on there. Because you sort of have, this is really the first scene where it's Gendo and Shinji interacting with each other. And I get the impression that there's like maybe I'm reading into it much, but I get the impression that there's sort of like a small part when Gendo's doing that speech about there's no photos, there's no corpses. And I actually, just going back and further, I love that visual of the graveyard because it reminds me very much of like army-style graveyards where there are the tombstones are all unified, there are no actual corpses. There's no photos of her in this context either. But I get the impression that he's in some small way trying to reach out to Shinji and try and like bond in a way, but it doesn't really work out, so he immediately retracts to, okay, I'm leaving, bye. Yeah. Which I don't know if I'm reading into that, but that's sort of what I got out of that scene. And if that's the case, I think that's a really interesting character moment. It gives, because Gendo we haven't gotten a lot of character from, so it's good to have.
We just know that he's scheming.
Yeah,
it was good. I liked that scene. It was an effective scene. What I didn't like was when Asuka was like, do you not want to kiss on the anniversary of your mom's death?
Strange
I was
line.
like, what?
I really like what they have going on here
What the-
with this whole second half, though, because I think what they're doing, they're setting up this thing where Asuka is desperately trying to act adult. She wants to use Misato's perfume. She wants to hang out with Kaji. She wants to kiss Shinji. I think it's funny because, just sitting there and being like, hey, let's kiss is like the most childish thing.
Oh my god, she's like, I'm bored, so let's kiss.
But that's something
that's
something that kids do.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's like, so her attempts to be an adult.
I mean, you've been to a cast party.
Her attempts to be an adult are the most childish things possible. And then you have the opposite, where you have Misato and Kaji sort of reminiscing, missing, sort of wishing to be young, carefree children again.
Yeah.
But the difference is, when she has that conversation, it says, this is how I feel, I'm kind of a failure, I have to get drunk to tell you this, you remind me of my father, is sort of, she's childishly getting drunk to sort of forget about things.
Yeah.
But addressing herself in such a matter-of-fact manner is sort of the most adult way to do it. So I think you have a good dichotomy of how they're both, these forces are going at. I think that makes it a really interesting sort of second half of the episode.
Yeah, I liked the second. I liked the whole episode. I think the whole episode was really strong. So I liked it. I am very interested to see where it goes from here, because I like intrigue.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different things going on too, because we had Kaji, Ritsuko, and Misato sort of hanging out doing an adult thing. They're going to a wedding. Mm-hmm. And sort of what made me think about this is I don't know if this is another small thing, but they're talking a lot about going to weddings, going to baby showers, and I wonder if that's sort of to play into, people think they're going to die. People think it's the end
I
of
was
the world,
thinking of that too.
So that everyone's trying to get married and have kids, and that's something that I've read about happening too.
Oh yeah.
Like with World War II and things like that, people want to get married as soon as possible so they can do it in case they're going to die.
Yeah.
And they didn't directly say that at any point.
I thought that was just kind of assumed, because they were like talking about like, oh, we have all these showers and weddings to go to. Ugh.
Well, I thought I was being smart, okay?
Well, no. What I'm saying, like, and then she's like, I can't wear the same dress to multiple weddings, and like, like the way they were talking about it makes it sound like it was a very, very regular occurrence in their world. So,
Misato's whole breakdown scene, I thought that was really well acted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting too because, we had this sort of Monster of the Week show. Oh, something comes, we got to fight a bridge. We've had 2 episodes in a row where there's really been no real threat. And it's just the characters being characters, which is, I think, what makes a good show.
Yeah, I agree. I liked the scene where they were, like, at the bar, and then the only way you really saw their faces were through, like, the reflections and, like, the glass or the mirror. I thought that was really cool. And, obviously, like, it's like a symbol for, like, them reflecting on their lives and themselves, obviously. But, like, I just thought it was a really well-shot scene and, like, obviously, well drawn scene.
No, you can say shot.
Whatever. I thought that was a really cool scene. That was probably actually my favorite scene in the movie, in the whole show. This episode. So.
Well, that's what, like I said, for me, when I watch a show, the most important thing to me is character. Not action, not visuals. So just having these conversations, I think, is immensely more entertaining than any sort of like intense action sequence. Mm-hmm. But if you're watching along at home, this is the time to strap in. This is like I was watching the show and I was like, whatever, let's watch Evangelion because there's so many memes. I got to understand the memes. And I watch it and I'm like, whatever, the show's kind of... But then I got here and I'm like, okay, let's keep going. I got to know what happens next. And I think it's a little bit late to the game, I'd say, for a normal show, but I'm happy we're there now. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to watch episode 16 coming up, and now's when the train is finally leaving the station, and I'm excited.